rule number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. I have a little of that at the moment.
Yes. Well, that's what a good conversation is about. It's like, because what you want to do is you want to enter into a conversation so that you come out wiser than you went in. And so the best example of this is when you're having an argument with your intimate partner, let's say. It's like, because you're going to want to win. And then, especially if you get angry, because anger wants to win. It's okay. So then you got to think, okay, well, wait a second. We better sort out what winning means here. So let's say that you're more verbally fluent than your partner and more treacherous. So you can win. That doesn't mean you're right, first of all. That's a big problem. Mm-hmm. Winning when you're wrong is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Because then you think you're right and you're not. And then, well, maybe the person can see things you can't, but can't verbalize them quite as well. It's like, well, you might want to listen, just because there's the possibility that they're trying to tell you how not to run headlong into a brick wall. There's some possibility of that. And so maybe you even have to help them formulate. It's like, okay, I don't get exactly what you're saying. I don't get exactly why you're annoyed. I'm not sure exactly what you want me to do to change it. Let's get this clear. And then I'm going to think about it. It's like, maybe you're right. I'm going to see if possibly you're right. I'm not going to roll over because I would rather you weren't right. I'm not going to change unless I'm convinced. But I am going to listen because I would rather not run headlong into a brick wall if I don't have to. And so that's the idea with the conversation. It's like, and this is, I think, why you're also supposed to listen to your enemies. Is because your enemies will tell you, like they'll tell you all sorts of lies about you. And that's not so good. Maybe you'll even get confused about that. But now and then your enemies will tell you something your friends won't. And you think, well, they said 90 things about me that weren't true and like 2 things that were. And so you separate the wheat from the chaff and you think, okay, okay, maybe I tried to learn that a lot in the last year. Maybe I was a little too harsh in that. And I've had people talking to me about my public appearances. They're watching and trying to help me not make mistakes, And then they call me, my friends, they say, well, you're a little arrogant there. You're a little harsh there. You're better when you're not so angry. You're better when you're making some jokes. And I'm listening because, well, I'd rather not have the mistake because the mistakes could be fatal. So it's like, let me know. I don't want to hear it, especially if it's a deep mistake, because then I have to take myself apart, and that's no fun. And maybe a bunch of me has to burn off, which is no fun. But listening, well, and that's, obviously you're good at it, because otherwise you wouldn't be interested in this and your show wouldn't be popular. So you're doing that, obviously.
Somehow I got one thing right.